And we are first who are starting this large congress. So then it will be opening ceremony, large opening ceremony, and so in this way I will ask you to be exact in time for me not to disturb the opening ceremony. So I am very glad that this time we are not so many people. Not because of this I am very glad, and because of that there are the most important persons. So it's very difficult to collect such a so to say team in one quite not big hall. So, and first of all, I'm very grateful for George, who come to us and who was participating. George, show yourself. Maybe some young don't know you. Yes, okay. I see you. So, George is always a chairman and moderator of our conference. In last conference in Tbilisi, he also was participated. Robert Gale. So there are some Russian people, so they remember Robert when in 1986 he was helping with Chernobyl catastrophe to make transplantations with academician Baranov. And Kapitalina Milkova, our professor from Moscow, is also here. She is from the team of academic Baranov. So, and nobody needs to announce Professor Dieter Hölzer. Each one, there are most of hematologists use his protocols of treatment of acute leukemia. So such a names. So Jean-François Rossi, and maybe Jean-François, I will start from your neighbor, from Vera Donenberg. As French, you are too much polite, so and allow me to start from Vera. Vera is from United States, as Pittsburgh, so and also will be very interesting report of her. So Jean-François Rossi, so France, so our participant at almost all conferences and an active author in our journal. Not only in our, now he has some much wider spectrum of Vladimir Yurisic, Serbia, so also not first time at our conference, and it's very glad. And first, I would like to be very grateful for our organizers. So it's a Turkish side with the main organizer, Onur Tükey, with whom we had all the connections for technical and so on, so program organization. Then it's president of Hematology Association, Birol Güvenç, and the president of Congress, Giuseppe Saglio. So they were also all participated in that organization, so to say, of the conference. I am very grateful for you. Of course, I am very grateful for our sponsors at Petrovax, Moscow. Where is our representatives of Petrovax? So please, Maxim, show yourself. You are not George Jodossi, not always, not everyone knows you. So we would like to say you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Without your support, we cannot organize this conference. And of course, foundation of Blokhin, our first director of Cancer Research Center, is the organizer of this conference. So its director, Elena Plotnikova, is here. So, and they put much attention to organization of this. So, just a moment, sorry, not to forget anyone. So I just not mention some our young, so to say, reporters, but you will see when we announce their lectures. So, and this seem to be all, and I will give the word to George for few, so to say, to announce and to start. And then Bob and so on.
Well, it's admirable that in spite of political troubles outside, we still keep our form to be young-oriented and discussing science, which will need to be invested into in the area of the hemopoietic malignancies and molecular genetics. So this spirited ignorance about the world in war, it is exemplary way of correcting the troubles which are in the society, and at the same time it must give you a little bit of power and determination of not to give in. So with me, who is getting on the elderly age, I have to bring up a few little memories. And it's the first is when I finished university, my first job was that in the Hungarian Academy of Science, they asked me in 1900 and I don't remember the year, it was so long ago, to go to Moscow and then bring in the Russian immunologists into collaboration with the Hungarian and the Czech scientists. And from ever since, I am full of admiration and pleasure every time when I meet a Russian. It was incredible times. The immunological tolerance was on, and Hasek was given acknowledgement for discovering it, but Medavar was given the Nobel Prize for it. So therefore, the message was from the Czechs of apologizing, and at the same time, there was a party in the Moscow forests where Shostakovich and his son turned up. His son was in a red car on the white fields of snow-covered mountainsides, and the scientists included the great people like those who were involved in molecular fusion, Artsimovich and his wife. And it was very beautiful, his wife. And I said to her that you are so beautiful that you must be using a special type of cream. And so because it just shows that how stupid a young doctor is just completing university. So then Artsimovich's wife went into the side room and took a little file of a little bit of a example, and said that would you bring it back to your wife, please, that she will be as beautiful as I am. So she is here, and indeed she acquired this beauty from a Russian source. Actually, I met her, Artsimovich's wife, about 20 years later, and she was still a gorgeous-looking scientist. So anyhow, that was one of the things, and so the Hungarian science has started the collaboration with the Russians, and that challenged Nikolai to get interested in the Hungarian Csárdas dancing. And in the Hungarian Academy, he invites special ladies who are singing beautifully the Hungarian folk songs, and these are all arranged in the Hungarian Academy of Science building, rejuvenating the whole place. So that is what we are missing, and replacing it with the Turkish kind of happiness. And so, but you have to realize that Nikolai's main interest is in the Hungarian Csárdas, not so much in the science. So which guarantees that we will have another meeting when going back to Budapest again. So having said that little introduction, I must say one other thing, and that is in 1992, the Leukemia Research Fund has organized a meeting in Moscow where maybe the participants here were also present in 1992. And it was a beautiful link up between the British and the English, and that was the time when then the rebuilding of the children's hospitals and the whole program started, which is now a reality. And so the West has contributed, and Nikolai was specially invited by me, and so he was kind of present on that same conference, which is showing that the British-Russian relationship is also merged in conditions when there is a full type of collaboration possible as soon as peace has breaking out. So therefore, the reason why I am speaking is because you are really loved, and you should have a kind of coordinated approach. And as you're going to see from the next talks, that there is absolutely amazing new developments, which means that you have to expand your virtual activities to the molecular genetics in the therapy against cancer. And on that comment, just one more sentence, that I am standing here totally confused for one interesting reason. And this is that because I am retired and therefore I have no direct link. So the British at the Royal Free Hospital, where I am coming from, actually rebuilt the hospital, which finished last month with multi-billion dollars of expense, but they don't have a strong science, only a very, very strong organizational capacity, which is of a German flavor. So that is the Royal Free is in a limbo of having the richness, but hasn't started the opening up towards the science as much as they could. But in the meanwhile, my pupils are at St. Jude in Memphis and also in Singapore. And so Dario Campana has started to the RT therapy in Singapore, and he is credited now the second most advanced immunologist scientist who is conducting the RT therapies with incredible help and interest. So therefore, we have unexpected developments, and it is your time to jump on the bandwagon. And as you are going to hear from the lectures later, that it is a new revolutionary development we are facing now. So you have to change your attitude. Thank you very much for your attention, and I hope that it is not doing too much in advertising that this is a well-established, long tradition procedure which you are sitting, like Vera is here already, and here are my old friends as well. So gets back to the science now. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, George, for your very impressive talk.